Welcome to Chew the Fat. I am your host, Smoove, and today we are going to get into a special guest right now. She's been killing it on Instagram, and you are going to absolutely love her story. She is no holds barred, has no F's to give, and you're going to learn a lot from this young lady today. I would like for you to introduce yourself, tell them who you are. We're going to get right into it right now. Go ahead and let them know what's up.
Okay, hi, I am Diamond. I'm the OG Ho, author of Advice from an OG Ho. Um, really, I just suffered for like 27 years, and then I was just out there being a dirty little hoe. And now I learned a lot of, I have a lot of advice, and I got a lot of wisdom to give to the younger generation and some of the older generation because everybody's crazy.
Yes, yes. Okay. So my first question, right? I know you did answer this on your channel. It was like probably your latest video, but I wanted to know um, why exactly you chose the name OG Ho. What's up with that?
Okay, so it was kind of two things. Obviously, as the OG Ho, I've been with a lot of men. So I'll start with the day I came up with OG Ho tips. I had been with a lot of men, and my internet went out. It's so dumb, but my internet went out like last year, and there was nothing I had learned from these all these men I had been with, and there was nothing that I could had retained because I was sitting there either thinking I was smarter than them or just not learning anything. um, and I had no one to call upon because I I was really bad to a lot of good guys. So there was no one I could call upon to help me. Now I had an internet provider, but every time I called them, I was like it wasn't working, and I knew at least three people that could have helped me, but I couldn't call them because I was a hoe. So I made a video on Instagram, and I was mad, and I was like, ladies, your first advice tip or OG ho tip, something like that. Make sure you learn something from these men. Learn them. They have a lot of advice to give. And then the second one is I went down the categorization of hoes while I was younger, in like 20s. I'm 30 now, so 20s to 30s. Um, I I always say there's the OG hoe, there's the pretty hoe, the financially stable hoe, the prostitute, actual ho ho, and then the dumb hoe. And I was the dumb hoe. And the thing
Damn.
about being I was a hoe. I was out there allegedly selling drugs and not making any money. Like I was hustling so far backwards, I was going back in time. And the thing about being the dumb hoe is that you can't stay that way. You either learn and get some wisdom from that, and you become the OG hoe, or you die. So,
Damn,
yeah,
no in between, huh? That's it. One of those. That's it.
it really is for the dumb hoe. For the other ones, they can kind of filter and they can kind of stay that way, but you can't stay stupid at 30. It's cute to be dumb in 20. It's not cute to be dumb in 30. You have to have learned
True
something.
that. Well, that's when you start getting your wisdom and all that. So now, um, got a quick heat check for you.
Mm-hmm.
Would you disclose your body count
If I knew it, I would. So I would count for you.
or
I'll say it's
range?
over 100.
Over 100.
I'll
Over
say it's over
100.
100. Yeah,
Okay.
maybe probably like 125. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Hey, listen. Shout out to you because you know what? A lot of people listen. That is the number one lie that you always
Yeah.
get, and you know women are terrified of disclosing their body count, right?
Yeah.
Um. Hey, so I commend you for it because that's for real, for real. Now, with all those experiences, right? I'm sure you got some good, some bad. How many would you say were relationships, like valid relationships, where you considered them your boyfriend or?
Less than 10, honestly. Like,
Okay,
definitely less than
okay,
10. Maybe like five of them.
okay,
Yeah.
okay, okay. So, do you feel like that may have done anything to you? Like as far as, or do you feel like there are any drawbacks or any long-term effects from e- experiencing them, like that were negative? I know you learned from it, but do you feel like there was anything that may be detrimental?
Uh, from just being with that many people but not having a lot of relationships?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, when you're with a lot of people, you don't really get to learn anybody if you don't build something with them. So you're really just kind of using people. And I always say, I'm very honest. I was a bad person. I did bad things. I made a video about how I sucked the dick out there and went home and kissed my boyfriend in the mouth. And I did do that. And it's
Ooh.
horrible.
Oh
It
no.
belongs to the
Oh
streets.
my god.
I was to
Oh
the highways
no.
and the
No.
byways. Like, it was horrible.
Oh man. Did he ever find out?
Well, probably now. I don't think he did. I know he knew I was with someone else, basically because I had told him outright. Like, I was like, I'm seeing someone else and you can stay or you can go. But,
Ooh.
and he stayed.
That's how he
I said,
comes.
Yeah, I got time, cuz.
I said I was a bad person. But also,
what
though,
was?
hmm?
Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
when you, when you use people like that, you know, it's like I said, it's fun to be dumb and hoe in your 20s, but eventually you're gonna want someone to settle down with. Maybe not everybody in the world, but most people want at least a close friend, or many people want a romantic partner. I cannot be with anyone affectionately. I really have like a wall, and it's not like something that can break down. Like there's a problem in me, and it could be from that. It could be from prior abuse and things. But
Whoa, whoa, whoa,
now
whoa,
I'm
whoa, whoa,
30.
whoa. That was gonna be one of my questions
Oh,
because
okay.
one thing that I found right is that
Mm-hmm.
um, women or young ladies who have experienced some type of abuse, right,
Mm-hmm.
especially sexual abuse, what it tends to do to them is it either makes you like a stone cold freak or you just don't like sex at all. And even to some of the women who become overly sexualized and everything else, it's still difficult for them to find an intimate bond with somebody. So even if they had a said boyfriend, they could never peer bond with this man. They could never fully fall in love or open up to this man. So I'm guessing you felt a lot of those types of effects.
Oh yeah, there is not one person in this world that I can bond with intimately like that now. There was one and a half people that I could do that before, but I there is no intimate bond. Like I have, and this is just speaking for me, but sex to me is so I've done it so much now it's not sacred anymore. So, and then also I don't really I don't know, I just there's no affection. Like you can kiss me and it's like I was never a kisser. Like, you know, all the romantic stuff and kiss. I'm like, oh, what are you doing? I've got bills to be paid. I've got money to go out there and make. I have to work. Like, we do it, we're done, and let's go. Because that's what I'm used to. And that's also the only way I'm comfortable. So if someone would actually try to make love to me, I would probably freak out. I'd be like,
Oh,
what is this?
wow.
Yeah, I don't think I would like it because people have tried. And I was like, can you hurry up? Like, can you
Oh
do
man.
something? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So wow. And that's unfortunate. How old were you when you experienced this abuse?
So uh, sexual abuse hadn't started until about 21 or 22 years old. But I have been physically, mentally, and emotionally abused by my dad from zero, honestly. Well, probably like
Okay.
three, because when he was around.
Okay.
But and then of course, if you they make jokes about daddy issues and mommy issues. Obviously, if you have any parental abuse, you are going to suffer in relationships with that gender of the abuser.
Absolutely. Oh
Yeah,
yeah. Oh yeah.
so I'm
Oh
sure that
yeah.
affected me. And then I just continued, since my dad abused me, I just continued to be with abusers. He also abused my mom. So I was like, well, that's normal. And be in an abusive household, what people don't know is because people are like, well, how didn't anyone see it? You're not allowed to go out there and stay over friends or have friends over to see that, to see what a normal relationship is. Because my mom would always say, what happens in the house stays in the house. You have to keep that abuse to that in the house, or CPS is getting called. So you don't get to ever really see what a real relationship, a good one, looks like. I didn't see what an actual healthy relationship looked like until the one of the only guys I called my boyfriend, his parents. And I was 21 years old. And I had never seen, I thought they were weird. I was like, what's wrong with them? Why don't they fight like that? He was like, Dad, they love each other. I was like, what are you talking about? What's wrong with you? I used to call him weak all the
Wow.
time.
So it's not even normal to you.
It's
So
not, it's very weird.
that would kind of segue you into abusive relationships because that's your normal. That was your version of normal. You thought that's part of so that may have been affection to you in
Hmm.
a terribly dysfunctional way,
Yeah.
and it's sad. That's why I say. But the good thing about it is it doesn't seem like you would do that to your children if you had children because you understand the wrong in it, right? So you would be the person to break the cycle. You just cringed. What's up with that? I saw that cringe.
I
Wait. What's that cringe about?
I, I do not like human children to the point where I differentiate between between dog children and human children. I love dogs. I will never have babies. I've had many abortions. I do
Oh, how
not.
many would you say?
10. Yeah.
Oh
And I've had more
my. Woo.
miscarriages than abortions. To me, and
What?
I know people. I know there's a lot of people that go, you must not believe it's a baby, but it is a baby. No, I believe it's a baby, and I chose to kill it because I'm not raising anything. One, I'm not mentally fit to raise a baby. Clearly, I'm not
Whoa.
mentally fit to raise a baby.
Okay.
But
Okay. Woo.
also, like,
All right. So
I,
knowing that, right? I gotta
yeah,
ask you. Knowing the result of that and understanding how you feel about it. Um, why wouldn't you just say, you know what, I'm just gonna probably go on some type of BC or I know abstinence is just kind of unrealistic, but
mm-hmm.
there's over 30 forms of contraception, so why not that route versus you know abortions?
Well, for 8 of them, they were from a man I lived with that was raping and beating me damn near every day. So you can't really ask a rapist
Oh
about
no.
you
Okay.
can,
Okay. Okay.
but he's probably gonna say
Okay.
no.
No,
So,
no. No. Okay. Okay. I
but
understand that. That's
yeah,
crazy. That's
yeah,
crazy. Hopefully he's in jail somewhere. I always tell people, man, I don't respect that one bit. I think you're a coward and I don't have
yeah,
no love or respect for you.
yeah,
And you deserve everything you got coming to you because that's horrible. And
yeah.
to think about it, like we all have daughters. We all have, well, not all of us, but many of us have daughters.
Mhm.
Plenty of us have sisters, and every one of us has a mother. And
Mhm.
that's you're putting that through somebody's family member. You know what I'm saying? That's somebody's grandparent, somebody's child. You know what I mean? It's a very
Mhm.
close relative to somebody. It's somebody's best friend, and you were potentially destroying their life because you don't know what's going to come out of that. So
Yeah, they could turn
I
into an
hate to
OG
hear it.
hoe.
Do you? Yeah, I got you. Now, do you feel like there was anything on your end that you could have done to possibly avoid any of those situations, or was it something where you feel like you were abducted or severely manipulated, or
Well, yeah, definitely. I should not have put myself in any of those situations. I would, like I said, I was the dumb hoe. I was doing opiates for about 10 years, 8 years, 9 years. Let's say 9 to 10 years, and I was buying drugs from these people who were bad people.
okay?
Had I
And
not just put
when you say opiates, right? There's a few kinds.
Oh, so I started off with perks, then went to heroin, then went back to perks, and then went to morphine. And I never injected, but they do make morphine pills. Not everybody knows that. They're 60 milligrams, and I would take like 10 of them at a time. I would be
Now,
600
I've
milligrams of
now
morphine.
that is outrageous because the simple fact that you say you used to. I don't know many people who could say they used to do heroin, so or even perks, because a lot of people who started doing it continue to do it. So how
Right.
did you get past that? How did you graduate past heroin and even morphine? How could you possibly do that? What did you do?
Okay. Nobody's going to believe me, but I just have to say all the facts. So I had hit my rock bottom, as everyone does, my rock bottom, some people don't hit a rock bottom. Not everyone knows that. But I hit underneath a rock bottom where I was damn near homeless. My landlords had realized I was not giving them their money because uh, I was spending it on drugs. Uh, I had a business because I'm a dog groomer, and I had a business that I had just ruined. I was making 1,500 a week and spending all of it on drugs. I spent so much money. Um, but there were these two clients, or there's one client, but it's two people, and Baby Bane, the shepherd. And they really loved me. And the thing about my grooming, I've always had it. And I've always been good at it because I bond with these dogs because they are my version of children. So, and all the
Okay.
clients really, really fall in love with me. So, they could see clearly. I was so high sometimes I'd be like this. But I never would
Not
do it
not in
while
everything.
right. But I would try my best not to do it until the very end. I would try my best not to do it while I was grooming because I didn't want to hurt a dog. So I got really, really, really messed up one day at their house because I was withdrawing really bad and I had to pop it. And when you're withdrawing like that, and just so you know, when you are trying to quit Percocets or any opiates, it normally takes like 3 to 5 business days of withdrawal to even start to clear it out of your system when you're as heavy as a user I was. Um,
Got it.
so it takes a long time, but for they were like, you need to get it together, blah blah blah. And I was like, yeah, no, I'm trying. He was like, he looked at me and said, you accept Jesus into your heart? And I said, yeah, whatever. Like, I don't care. And he was like, because at the time
Right.
I was practicing, I practiced witchcraft on and off, and
Wait, you
I always
did?
say I fucked with the devil. Huh?
What form? What form?
I would say I fucked with the devil, so not an official form, but I would use the demon boon and the demon, uh, I forgot the other one's name, as my
Do you
deity.
do
But
you
I would,
feel do you feel like it was effective?
no. Well, let's not lie. For a while, it served its purpose. They did not die. It was not like the demon came up to me and lied to me and was like, hey, everything's going to go great. You know what you're getting into when you mess with a demon. Everybody knows. So, but I did end up becoming an amazing groomer. And I was so stupid. I could have sold it for fame and fortune. I was like, I just want to be a really good groomer. So, um, and it worked. I ended up being a groomer making 6 figures, or actually at one point in time had I continued 7 figures. Um, but then a week later, I ended up homeless and all that stuff. And I called him. I was like, I don't know what to do. He was like, you can come here. You got to get sober. He opened up these. There are 2 Christians, and they opened up their home to me, and I got sober. And it was one day, 24 to 48 hours, we'll say, probably about 36 hours. I laid in bed. He said I was screaming Jesus in the middle of the night. I don't remember none of this. All I remember is cold sweats, throwing up, and like moaning and groaning in pain. And it's really like a hazing it out. And then the next morning I woke up and I was like, oh, I'm hungry. Now I did definitely have the shits for a month because that's what happens in
Ooh,
opiates. Like
an
your
entire
body.
month?
Yes. And that's what really will make me never go back to because I don't know. Um,
A month.
it was bad. It
I
was
could,
so
yeah,
bad. And I'm
I
very
could
like
only imagine.
one of my big OG ho tips is I am tired of seeing people with dirty booty holes. So wash your booty hole. And when you
What?
gotta do that much, you have
Wait,
to. It's almost impossible. So I was like, never again. But all I gotta say is Jesus saved me that day, which was crazy. But I mean, those are all the facts. Other than what I felt about it, like those are all the facts. Like it was crazy. It was really weird.
wow. So, cleanliness is key for you. That's one of your pet peeves. All
Yes,
right,
yes.
can you explain where people go wrong with this?
Yes, Jesus. Yes, I can. Thank you for asking me that question because I've been waiting to tell you this. Look, first of all, let's say you're ready. It doesn't matter if it's a new person or an old person. You have to shower before you mess with them. I know there's this whole
True,
thing about
true.
spontaneous sex. Keep some baby wipes in your car. Keep the Vagisil wipes in your car. I don't know if they make wipes for men, but if they do, use those too. Get into the crevices,
They
get
do.
into the corners. Do they?
Yeah,
Yeah,
they do. They do.
yeah, definitely get into the crevices, the corners, if you don't shower. But always try to plan your experiences um, around a shower. And when you shower, spread your cheeks. You don't know how many men I have had tell me that they didn't want to wash the inside of their butts because it was gay. And I was like, okay, I'll wash it for you.
Nah,
Just that
get out
this
of
is
here.
not gay.
No, 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 no,
Like,
no, no,
you
no,
have
no,
no
no, no,
idea.
no, no, no,
I
no.
don't
Wait,
know
wait,
what to
wait, wait,
say.
wait, 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 wait. No, wait. We can't just go past that real quick. Did you just inform me
Yes,
that many men,
yes,
like a lot,
yes,
more than more than two,
yes,
more than three?
yes.
How many men would you say said that?
Oh gosh, a good third of more than 50 probably. And it's
More
all
than
over the
50
internet.
men.
Yes.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. So they said they literally will not wash because they felt like it was not heterosexual. Seriously.
Yes. Yeah,
This is
yeah,
what you're
that's
telling
serious.
this is what you're telling me right now.
Yeah,
Whoa.
strike me
So
down if I lie. Yes, Lord.
whoa,
The power
whoa.
of Christ
Awful.
compels you.
No, 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 no. Listen, that's my that right there is mind-boggling to me. I can't with that one. Like, okay, gentlemen, listen, I'm all for the self-improvement, right? I try to do men's help, men's health. This is related to both. Gentlemen, you are certainly still heterosexual if you wash your rear end. It's okay. Please
Yes.
do. You should. You
Yes.
should. Just because of hygiene, anything that you don't maintain, you get start getting infections and different things. You have to wash. And if you never do it, yeah, come on, bro. You're gonna smell real
Mm-hmm.
bad, man. You don't want to do
Mm-hmm.
that. You don't want to do that. That's crazy. And then you want
Yes.
somebody to go down in the sauce, man. Come on,
Mm-hmm.
bro. Come on,
Yes.
bro.
I'm
Ooh. Yeah,
so
that's an
tired of food
unreasonable
gross.
request. Um,
Yes.
yeah, I can't, man. That's outrageous. We have to do better, gentlemen. We have to do better. I don't know how many men are doing that, but you should stop. You really should stop, gentlemen. That's crazy to me. I want to switch gears here for a second because me just doing my little studies on your videos. I saw you say something, and I've actually weighed in on this. So I want to know, how do you feel about side chicks
uh, I don't believe in monogamy personally. I think that doesn't make sense. To be
for
with
men or
one person.
women?
Hmm?
For men or women?
For both. More for men because certainly you guys are way more visual, but for both. We're human beings, and to me, it's like if I wasn't supposed to sleep with other people, I would not be sexually attracted to other people. So
So you don't see yourself ever in life ever
mm,
being monogamous?
no, no, it
Wow.
would take a miracle. Yeah,
It would
I
take a
mean, I
miracle.
experienced a miracle, but yeah,
um,
because there's too many
I would
people.
hope. Okay. I mean, yeah, that's one thing, but I mean, I could maybe when you get a little older, you might maybe and maybe not. It might just be part of your personality, right?
Mhm.
And I I would say that you've experienced so much right now that it would be hard to kind of settle down, and you may be able to at some point, but it's definitely gonna be more difficult. And this is one of the reasons that men are so concerned about like body counts and stuff like that, only because it's like, all right, how are you going to behave with me? Do you think that's valid, or do you think or you think it's invalid for men to be concerned about a body count?
Well, at a point, yeah, because I'm not an anomaly. I'm not the only one like this. Certainly, I'm not. I
Oh,
don't think the
sure, we
majority
know you're
of
the
women
only
are
one
like.
that's not lying about
Yeah, probably because I'm a bad liar. um,
it.
I don't think most women are like me, but there are many, and you never know who you're going to come across. So
Exactly.
you know, it's a valid concern, but people need to have these conversations. They need to, before you jump into a relationship with someone, take them on a coffee date and be like, hey, do you believe in monogamy? Hey, how many people have you been with? Because if somebody's been with like 10 or 15 people, to me at least, that's not a lot. And you don't want someone that has no experience. I've talked to a lot of men and they're like, I don't want someone that has zero experience because I don't want to spend my time teaching. I want to enjoy myself. So, but I don't want someone with as much experience as me because then they feel insecure or they don't know if I'm going to be able to stay with them. And part of that's an insecurity on their part as well. Like, if I'm making you feel like, you're not enough for me, then we need to have a conversation on why you feel that way or why I'm making you feel that way.
Absolutely. Wow, that is. Whew. All right, I want to get back into the side chicks thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because you've experienced that before. You were a side chick at least once, right?
Yeah, yeah, a couple times.
Why do you think that? Why do you think that men have side chicks?
I'm gonna say I know you're asking about men, but I feel like this is the same for everybody. Uh, Because they're bored with their partner is part of it, but because their partner doesn't listen to them. I have one guy who told me every time I was with him, he would talk about his girlfriend, and he would go, his love language is sex because of something traumatic that happened to him in the past. Like, it happens to men too. He was sexually
Okay.
abused. And she would not have sex with him. I guess I don't know what happened, but they were having sex a lot at one point, and then as it goes in a relationship, a lot of times
The
people get
drop
bored
off.
and they drop off. Yeah. But for him, that was like, oh my God, she must not love me anymore. So then he got very, very clingy. He started freaking out, and then she would push him away. And I was like, you need to tell her that. You need to talk to her. So when he tried to, she refused to communicate with him. She sat there and said, well, you just want it all the time. Is your relationship only about sex? He's like, it's not only about sex, but, and I say this right now, I hope everybody hears me, sex is a very important part of a relationship unless you're asexual, and there's not a lot of many asexual people out there. So
Yeah.
sex is a very important part of a relationship. You need to have sex. It's
Okay.
not the end all be all, but you need it. And he was like, so I would give him that companionship, that justification or whatever it's called, but he needed to
Gratification.
feel like a
Yeah.
person. Yeah, like he felt
Yeah.
or to
So,
feel loved.
do you feel like it's more the absence of it, or could it be that some people are not compatible, and or maybe there's things that they just aren't willing to do?
It could
Do you
be
think that's
all
part of it?
three. Yeah, it could be all
Okay.
three, but people aren't talking about it. They need to, like, on your second, maybe third date, be like, look, I like this, and this. And if they go, I'm not doing that, then bye. It's time for another
Yeah.
partner. Yeah.
Yeah. And then you can save yourself a lot of time and heartache, in all
Yeah.
honesty.
Yeah.
So now, with these men, what would they complain about mostly? I know we have not listening, because the idea is to see, let's try to see what we can tell women that their
Mhm.
mistakes are, right?
Mhm.
Where can we fix this? What is it that they are ignoring? What is it that why is it that it's so prevalent? Because it is pretty prevalent. Lots of men do it. And quite frankly, there are some studies show that more women are cheating than men as of
Oh,
late. And for
wow.
sex, believe it or not.
Yeah.
For sex, believe it or not. And um, that's a little different than what we're used to hearing. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah. Definitely. I wrote in my book, it was one of my OG tips. Yeah, men are dogs, but
Oh,
women are too. We definitely cheat often. Most and birds of a feather flock together. If your woman's best friend is cheating and all her friends are cheating, you might want to look at your girlfriend too.
mm,
Just
yo,
say
you giving
that.
out all the sauce today. You giving out all the sauce today. I
I'm just
gotta
saying
say, because
that.
I'm gonna tell you, because you know
Yeah.
what? There's a lot of men, particularly in the red pill space, right, that say, "Hey, listen, if your girl hangs around a lot of 304s, then you probably should not let her do that because, like you just said, birds of a feather flock together." And let me ask you this. Let's just say that there's one girl who's not really like that, but then she tends to hang with a lot of these women. Is there a lot of negative influence?
Yeah, there's gonna be influence. It depends on how strong your girlfriend's mind is. But what I say is, if you want to be a better person, so if your girlfriend wants to be a better person, she would drop those types of people around her. If she wants to be a better girlfriend to you, because you become who you hang around, whether you want to believe it or not. You can stand strong all you want to, but the more you hear it and the more you're around it, you're gonna at least think about dabbling it. That's it. You're human.
Yeah,
That's
it's
very
around you.
normal. Yeah, it's surrounding you. So if you're surrounded by big booty bitches that fuck big dick men all the time, and they have a man and they come and all you, and especially if all you do, and I've been around these women, I was one of them, but all you do is talk about your escapades, and there's one girl that's like, doesn't. A lot of times she'll be really invested in the story, or and it'll start slow because she'll be like, I would never do that. And then, of course, because the drama is exciting, she'll be like, yeah, wow, that's crazy. And then she'll start because on the outside it looks fun. it looks
It does.
exciting.
It's
Yeah,
exciting. Yep,
because
definitely
and
exciting.
because she's never done it, she's not seeing the negative parts of it. So you know, of course, there's going to be negative influences. Like she would have to be extremely strong minded, and if she was that strong minded, she would not hang around those people. Like drop your friends if they're not who you want to be.
Yeah, I always advise people. I say you have to um, surround yourself with people who are like minded and are doing the same things that you are doing and going in the same direction that you are. Like if you're
Yeah.
hanging around people who are not productive, then it's going to be a lot harder for you to be productive. You have to surround yourself with people who are moving in the same direction as you
Mm-hmm.
are. People who have the same type of morals, people who have the same type of values. For you, I mean, for them to be your day to days. You know what I mean? Like people,
Mm-hmm.
associates, acquaintances, that's fine. But
Right.
people that you really, really, really in the mix with, yeah,
Yeah.
they need to be on point. They need to be doing what it is that you're doing.
Yeah.
So I want to ask, what do you think um, men could do better to maintain women, right? Because there are some men who are making plenty of mistakes, and I call them out a lot. But I love to hear women's perspective as to what they are doing wrong and how they could do better to maintain relationships.
One is remember that your girlfriend is a human being. So I and two, we'll say remember your girlfriend is a human being once. I can be just as dirty as you. Well, not me, but a
Oh.
woman can be just as dirty as you. Uh,
I got you.
I I come home, let's say, because I believe a relationship should be 50-50. So let's say a man is working all day and a woman is working all day. Remember, your girlfriend is human. So if you want to come home and relax because you've been working 8 hours, if she's working those exact same 8 hours, do not expect her to come home, cook, and clean. You guys got to share the responsibilities. And that's sometimes the problem. And then also remember that your girlfriend is not your mom. So I noticed that. And for women, remember your boyfriend is not your dad. But, it's fun to be in the bedroom and be like, mommy, whatever, which if somebody ever calls me mommy, I'm pass out. But, mommy, blah, blah. But she's not there to take care of you. You are an adult human being. So your basic needs need to be met. You need to provide for yourself. You don't need to be out here providing for her unless that's what your dynamic is. You need to provide for yourself. You need to learn how to feed yourself, and you need to know how to keep your area clean and how to just do the basic adult stuff. A lot of women get upset because we're expected to care for ourselves and then care for a man. And you've probably heard a lot of times that women are like, oh my God, they have 3 kids. And they're like, oh my God, it feels like I have 4 kids. And that's not right. And then you have to share the responsibilities per the dynamic. Like, of course, if you're working all day and she's at home all day, you know, that's
Then
her
yeah,
domain. That's what she takes care of. But it's even that, like, it's 2023. We are equal. So then we need to treat each other equally.
gotcha. So, in your opinion, right? Um, many men struggle with approaching women. So, what do you think is generally right? And of course, I always tell men you have to read the room, you have to feel things out, and all of that. But what do you think are some general ways that men should approach a woman like? Because a lot of women just don't want to be bothered. But if you don't shoot your shot, then you have no chance at all. So, um, you can't do catcalling, but what should you do if you wanted to approach a woman?
So, the very first thing I'm going to say, it is different for those that are physically attractive than for those that are not. Um, because, and I'm going to be honest here, if a beautiful, gorgeous man can get away with a lot more than an unattractive man. Same with a woman, but way more on a man's scale. So,
Oh yeah,
um, for all men though, you need to feel the vibe. You have to walk up, you need to see the person, and it takes trial and error. You need to get used to failure and be comfortable with it. So
tell
if
them
you walk
practice, 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 and that's what I'm telling you. Get
practice,
better.
yes, if you walk up to a woman and she looks at you, goes, just keep him go. Okay, thank you. Have a nice day, and keep it moving. If now she starts to look at you, and you also have to read body language. So if I'm going like this, or if I'm touching you or something, that means I'm slightly interested in you, right? So then try to use your little pickup lines, use some game or whatever. If
Do
you're
you wait,
looking,
wait, 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 wait? Hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. You said pickup lines. Do women actually appreciate pickup lines? And I'm leading into something, but go ahead. Do women actually appreciate pickup lines
If they're
or
funny,
game?
it depends on the woman,
Okay.
but if
Okay.
they're funny, then it's gonna make us laugh. Yeah,
Okay.
and that's what they're
You know
for.
what? Okay, I want you to keep going with that, and then I'm going to get into. I want you to finish that, and then I have a theory on this, and I want you
Okay.
to tell me if I'm right or wrong. But
Okay.
I want to get so whatever else you got, go ahead, and then I'm gonna jump in.
Um, what was I saying? Oh, so yeah, if you're a very, very, very handsome man, yeah. Also, handsome is not the only thing because I know some very, very handsome men that are awkward. So it's I look at you, I go, ooh, but the second you open your mouth, because you've been able to ride on that beauty for so long, you've never learned how to talk to people. So learn how to talk to people, develop some public speaking skills. Don't be awkward. And then for the ones that are less attractive, be funny. You need to be funny. That if you make us laugh, that is your key in. Also, do not under any circumstances friend zone yourself. Do not go in there. That is a movie trope that movie companies started to sell movies and make money. You do not go in there and be
Yes.
like, let's be friends. No, if they say they want to be friends with you, then there's two things. They're either trying to let you down easy or you're providing something for them that they don't want to lose, and that's fucked up
Yep.
for them. So do not go, no, I don't want to be your friend. I see you as a sexual partner or a romantic partner. And if they get mad about it, leave. And just say it very matter of factually like that. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. That's exactly what you're gonna do. Listen, women will steal your boyfriend energy, take your time, resources, and
Mm-hmm.
everything else, and that's out. So you let your intentions be known off rip. If you're friend zone and then you try to be an orbiter, odds are you'll be waiting. Sometimes you get lucky with that, like if she has a bad situation and she want to get her lick back or something like that. Whatever, that could happen. But I mean, you have to think more of yourself than that. That's
Yes. Be
nonsense.
selfish. Yes.
Now, I wanted to say this, and I want to know from your perspective if you agree or not. I have a bit of experience with the women, right? I'm chill now. Fortunately, I'm married and two kids in and everything else. But I've had some experiences, right? And in my experiences, what I've learned is that women's rules are for men that they are not attracted to.
What do you mean? Like what
Women's
rules?
rules, like okay, like oh, I don't like pickup lines, or I don't like men that do this. I don't
I got
like when a man says that, or you
okay.
know what I mean. That and I think, or I don't know. It's gonna have to be 10 dates or 90 days, or all of those rules are for men that they are not attracted to, because what I've understood is that if a woman is actually genuinely attracted to you, all that's out the window. You could get it at any time. It doesn't matter what you say. You don't have to have no game. All you got to do is just talk to them. If they feeling you can do no wrong. Just like if all right, and I'll give you a perfect instance that you might be able to relate to. Let's say a dude, he's like 5'2", 250 pounds, sweating, and he's like, "Oh, you look so nice today," or whatever. You're gonna be like, "Ugh," or you know what I mean? He has to walk on eggshells to flatter you. Now,
Mm-hmm.
let's say you got a 6'4" guy, nicely trimmed, nicely dressed, smelling good, come through. You like his little swag. He can say the same exact line, and it will be received differently.
Mm-hmm.
And he will not have to put forth a fraction of the effort to get the same result. So that's why I
Yeah.
say, for men, your best bet is to improve yourself, right? Make sure you're
Yeah.
in shape. Make sure you dress well. Make sure you smell good. Um, Clean yourself, like
Yes.
the OG told you,
Thank you,
and,
Jesus.
and you will get so much better results. I think it's very important, and that's the main thing. I tell men and women that if you are not getting the results that you want, you must improve. Women, if you are not getting the minute you want, they were ignoring you, they were just doing flybys, right? One
Mm-hmm.
nighters and everything else, then it must be something about you that you need to improve on. And there are some men, there are some women who just aren't beat, right, for a long term relationship. But
Right.
if it continuously happens to you, then it might be something up with you. If he won't wife
Mhm.
you, but he will wife another, then there must be
Mhm.
something about you that he doesn't appreciate. And you have
Mhm.
to figure out. And men aren't that hard, pause, in my opinion. It's just a matter of like, men want peace, certainly, right? They don't want women who are masculine, right? They like a soft, feminine woman. You know what I mean? They want you to be in shape.
Yep.
And just peace. I can't stress peace enough, right? And they want you to be more of an asset than a liability. And it doesn't mean monetarily, right? So let's just say that your man has certain things to do during the day. Can you make it easier for him? Can you make his day to day easier? And whatever that means, whether it could be cooking, if that's what you have to offer. But money generally is not important for women. And a lot of women try to put their career first. And if that's what you want to do, go ahead and do it. But if you really want a family and it's important to you, then you have to put the same effort forward because women will take the time, they'll go to school, right? They will
Mhm.
dress appropriately and they will be on time. They
Mhm.
have great etiquette, right? Everything that they need to when it comes to getting that job, getting that career that they
Mhm.
want. They put in the work. They make sure
Mhm.
they come prepared, right? And
Mhm.
because they value it and they should, right? If that's what you want to do. However, to get a man that is desirable, you have to put forth a similar effort, right? You may not have to go to school, but you have to be prepared, right? You
Mhm.
might have to dress appropriately. Um,
Right.
like,
Right.
so if you anything that you value in life, you have to prepare for it. And one of the biggest mistakes that I think women make is they do a lot of hot girl summers. They learn the hard way. Usually post wall, right?
Mhm.
You know
Mhm.
about the wall, right?
Yeah, I'm 30. It's
Okay.
coming up. Even if it doesn't hit physically, the wall hits in some way every person in
Yes,
some way.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. Even if it's something as simple as geriatric pregnancy, you're not
Yep.
the same as you are in your 20s as you are in your
Exactly.
30s. Your peak value is your early to mid 20s. That's your peak value. And that's when you can require the highest price
Mm.
in the sexual marketplace. So it would behoove you to search when you have your highest value, you're at your peak value, versus waiting, which you can. That's your prerogative. However, I'm only advising if you want the best result, if you want to have the best man, if that is as important as a career, then I would just advise people to put that much effort into obtaining a man because you wonder how this woman, you be like, she's not even that cute, blah, 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 this and that. How the hell she get that? And I'll tell you how she got that. She put in the work. Some of it is luck, but some of it is strategic positioning. They know where to
Yeah.
go. They know these
Yeah.
cigar lounges to go at. They know
Yes.
um, these network events to be right. They know
The
how to
country
get into
clubs.
these
Yep.
balls,
Yes.
these events, right? They know where to
Hmm.
go, and they're putting effort into it, right? Because they care
Yeah.
about it, because they value it, and that's what's setting them apart from the women
Hmm.
who are just doing what it is that they want to do. They don't know how to talk to men. They feel like, oh well, he should be trying to get to me, and that's cool. And your average and certainly below average men will go for that, but that's not what a
Hmm.
lot of women want. They want somebody who's making enough money for them to live a comfortable life where work could be elective for
Hmm.
them, and that's what they that's what they want. That's what they desire. And the difference is you're not putting in the work and you're not worried about strategic placement. You have to be in the right places. And what I there's a saying, right? I don't want to butcher it too much, but it basically says the more you are prepared, the luckier you become, right?
Hmm.
When
Yeah.
because luck is defined as when preparation meets opportunity. So
Hmm.
the more you are prepared, that would make sense. The luckier you become.
Yeah. Definitely.
So what would you say to women who are having issues the same way that men are like trying to find a good mate? What do you think that they need to do a lot better?
You have to be honest with yourself. Look at like kind of what you said. Look at if you want to put all your time and energy into your career, that's great. But when you do that, right? What is the main goal of you doing that? Is to provide for yourself. So you cannot want to provide for yourself and then also want someone that will provide for you. Those are two opposite things. So if your main goal, you have to figure out what your main goal is. If your main goal is to just provide for yourself, cool. We're not talking to you. Good job. And do it, and that's fine. I did that. But if your main goal is to get someone that you want to provide for you, so work can be optional, then then that means you want them to chase you. You want them to want you. What do you have to offer them? It doesn't have to be money. It doesn't have, because men really don't value money the way women do. I didn't know that. Now I know that. It's like wow. But what do you have like why would that man want you? My mom used to tell me, how dare you want a perfect man and you're not a perfect woman? And I was like, damn, I was 11, but okay. But but she's right though. Like,
That's
why?
game right there, though. For real, for real.
That's my mom.
That's game.
She's the OG of the OG.
How about that?
But like, why? You like honestly look at yourself. There's this whole I think like I want to say generation, but I don't know if it's a new thing or not, where everybody has recently just been telling women you're great just because you're great. And it's like
Yes,
that I
they've been
see
lied
where
to.
it comes from because we were told back in the past for so long that we weren't. However, it is 2023. Now we have the rights. We fought for the rights, and now we have the rights to do those things, to work and we are great, to become great. But you're not born great. So if you want someone to want you, then you have to put effort in the areas that they want. If you want a man who's 6 foot tall, 6'2", and makes seven figures and is a bodybuilder, do you think he's going to want? And he might, but do you think he's going to want someone that doesn't have any of those goals in line with him? Like somebody that doesn't take care of their physical health. If he's the type of person that travels all the time, does he want someone with kids? Like the single mom with kids, does he want that? Because then instead of just picking up and be like, we're going to Bermuda tomorrow. No, you have to pull your kids out of school. You have to do this. He doesn't want somebody that's gonna make his life harder. Versus like the same thing with women. We don't want someone that's gonna make our life harder. You're a human being. A lot of people are forgetting we're human beings. Your men are human
Yeah.
beings and you like to treat them like they're not. Like if he doesn't want you, he's not gonna want you. Make yourself valuable or you're not gonna get him. Yeah.
Nah, I'm gonna say you get an ultra combo for that because
Sorry.
you dropped a lot of gems tonight, and for someone who is not necessarily interested in a relationship, I'm gonna say that is some OG game right there. Um, I kind of feel like you're gonna get to that point. In all honesty, um, it's probably gonna take some healing, right? Have you ever tried to do like therapy or anything like that, or counseling?
Oh
Because
yeah, I'm in
there's a
therapy
lot of
now.
stuff that you dealt with. Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
How do you feel like that's affecting you so far? Pretty positively.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta realize how I grew up. Like, my parents we were military, so like, what do you say? I remember when I was diagnosed with PTSD, and they were like, "What war were you in?" And I was like, "You're right. Like, what type of crybaby shit is this? Get up and
Wow,
stop crying
this
and
is
do
what
it."
you were getting.
Right?
Woo.
Yeah, but like like get up, stop crying, and do it. And a lot of even though it was really harsh when I was younger, it does help me now. Like yeah, I suffered a lot from like birth to 21. But had I just sat there, or had I not sat there and been like, oh well, it's me, my life is horrible, and had I just sucked it up and got some therapy then and been like, all right, time to move on, then I wouldn't have suffered from 21 to 27. So I mean, I'm healing. It's going to take some time. I'm probably always going to be a little bit like, all right, let's do this and I got to work and do this thing. But I'm sure that I have a lot more masculine traits than others. But yeah, I mean, everybody's healing process looks different. So mine is,
Yeah.
yeah, maybe being more gentle. But I don't do all the crying. I don't do all the, if I want to lose weight, and I have lost weight, and I sit there instead of sitting here crying over some Ben and Jerry's and go, I wish I could eat this. I just get up, I fast, and then I go to the gym. You know, as much as it
Got it.
sucks, life sucks sometimes.
So if you consider yourself to be more masculine than average. Do you tend to attract women?
Uh, Sometimes, yeah. Actually, yeah. I attract, and nowadays, especially with the money that I make, because men are not attracted to it, money as much as women are. I probably
Yeah.
attract more women than men. Yeah.
Okay. So, if is that mostly feminine women, or is it a mix, or
It's a mix. It's more feminine women. A lot of the doms don't. It's not like they don't want me. They don't really. I'm not, because if they want a feminine woman, I'm not the one for
you're not
them.
that? Got it.
Yeah,
Got it. Got it.
I am working on being feminine, but like, because I would like to be, but mostly like either feminine or like in between. Yeah.
Got it. So would you deal if it, all right? So if you were to deal with a female, would you feel like you would have to be the dominant one, or
Uh, Probably. I'm dominant in all the relationships though. That's why
oh
so many
really?
of, yeah,
Wait.
and it's
So
weird because
you've dominated men as well?
in a way, yeah, like in the bedroom, no, but it's very, you will do it my way or I will leave. I don't,
Oh
I'm
wow.
not gonna sit here and be like, I don't compromise. And I know that's a problem and I'm working.
You don't compromise.
No, I don't want to. No. uh,
Your way or no way. Oh
exactly.
man. I could see how that could breed a little bit of dysfunction. Did you ever get resistance though? Like I mean, or do you kind of like look for people who are more on the submissive side?
Um, so I like to say that before, because I am changing now and I'm trying to be more compromising, but
Okay.
it's not that I look for people on the submissive side because I would actually like a man to dominate me. I really would. But I also have this anxiety towards that because I've been abused so many times. So,
Got
but
it.
back
Got it.
before, yeah, but back before, I was not looking for someone submissive. I was looking for someone insecure because I was a predator. Even though I'm not like a predator, I'm not beating up on you. I was mentally and emotionally abused. If I'm sitting here cheating on you all the time and telling you to your face I am, that is not, that's abuse. That was abuse
Yeah,
and I was
you
abusing.
you basically were dealing with cucks at that point, because
Yes.
in in general, well, men do not deal with that. I mean, but like I said, there are certainly some men, and I guess you kind of figured how to scout them out, or did you kind of turn them out?
No, it's more of a, it's when you are a bad person and a predator, it's almost like a scent that someone gives off. You can see the weakness in them and you prey on
Oh
that. You
wow,
know, this is going to be easy to, and that's why I tell people all the time, like, you have to heal yourself and get rid of all that. I'm scared and timid. And this is not the world that you can do that in. Not anymore. Like,
wow.
because a
So
predator
that
will
means
smell that. Mhm.
you had to test them though, right? So what would yourself or women in general do to test men to find out if they can dominate them or if they were weak?
Uh, it's different for everybody, but for me, I would talk about other men around them to see what their reaction was. So if you were extremely jealous, like extremely jealous, then I'd be like, oh, you're pretty insecure. I would also talk about the amount of money I make. And if you're extremely like, well, I don't care about that, blah, blah, blah. Or on the flip side, if you're like, okay, well, I had a guy tell me, I just don't want to work and you take care of everything. Oh, okay. That means I can financially abuse you. Perfect. And you stay here and you do exactly what I tell you to. It's horrible.
Oh
Don't do
wow.
that. Yeah. Or I kick you out and then you're SOL.
Phew.
I said I would
Listen,
leave or
and
I'd be away.
I
Finish
understand that.
him.
I understand that, but
Yeah.
again, this is just this is for people to learn from this, right? Because you're not practicing anything
No,
like that anymore,
no.
right? So, but this is definitely some good game for people to listen
Mm-hmm.
to. So now you'll know when people are trying to
Mm-hmm.
manipulate you. So now these are things that you do. Is there anything that they do that's like a dead giveaway, just by their demeanor or their disposition? Like, do you know, like, oh, this I got him? Is there anything that you would be able to tell right away?
Like a man,
Yeah.
if you're asking me if a man, if I can tell that he's what am I thinking?
You
What's the
could
word I'm
tell
thinking?
he's a cuck or a chump or a
Yeah,
simp.
a weak person. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Extreme emotional instability on certain things I would say about like the other men, also the way they would treat service staff, waiters, and stuff like that. Sometimes that would be extremely abusive. Other times that would mean they're so insecure they need someone that they can, feel like they feel in control of. And because that
Oh,
wasn't
okay,
me,
okay.
yeah, because that wasn't me, then they would do it to other people, and I'd be like, "Oh, you're really insecure." Now, a lot of times that got me fucked up. I got my ass whooped because instead of them being insecure, they were insecure, but they were strong enough to whoop my ass because ladies, you don't fight men.
Oh
You
man,
keep
that's
trying
crazy.
to,
Yeah,
but you
yeah, yeah.
don't fight men.
Yeah. Nah, it's a bad
Yeah,
idea. It's a losing battle.
yeah,
There are other ways to handle that type of situation. I don't
yeah.
encourage violence. Either
Yes,
way, from men to women, women to men, women to women, men to men
yeah,
is whatever. That's fair
right.
game. But other
I
than
don't like it.
that is what it is. Sometimes us men have to do that. But like I said, it would be with another man. You don't fight women because it's not a
Mhm.
fair fight and it's a dangerous situation very quickly because
Very.
men can really hurt a woman really fast. So you probably don't.
Yes.
Yeah, women are
Yeah.
not designed to fight, in my opinion. There are some women who will get with you and do you dirty, but in general, right, by and large, you can't. Yeah, it's just not a good look, and I don't encourage it because it to me it's cowardly. Like you don't.
Mhm.
It's a L either way because if you
Yeah.
win, it's a L. If you lose, it's
Yeah.
definitely a L. So
Yes.
just leave that
Yeah.
alone. You know what I mean? That's why I never even fight people smaller than me because it's like nah. You know what I mean? Unless I mean if somebody disrespected is what it is. But I would never
Yeah.
look for a fight with somebody smaller than me because it's like what props you gonna get for that? Okay, so you just beat up a low man. Now what? Like you know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
you mean like a little
It's
man?
out either way. Huh?
You mean like a man smaller than you? You would never fight?
Yeah.
Those
I
men are
would. Yeah.
crazy.
Listen. Yeah, I understand that. Me too, though. But all I'm saying is that I wouldn't pick the fight if it came down to it,
Okay.
and that's what it
Yeah.
was. I'm not. Listen,
Okay.
if I have to defend myself or the people around me who I care about, oh yeah, you're not gonna disrespect me, but I wouldn't
Right.
be like instigating it. You know what I mean? If it's an
Okay.
easily avoidable situation, and they're not
Okay.
trying to disrespect it, it's like, all right, whatever, man, whatever.
Yeah.
But once you cross that line, it is what it is. If,
Exactly.
if
Yeah.
that if that's if that's what you want, if that's what you want, then it's gonna go down. All right. So now, um, what kind of friends would you say you had?
uh, I don't have any friends now. Damn, I have a couple,
You have
but
no friends,
I
for
have
real?
I have about two that
Okay.
are that, and they're both men. They're both gay men.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
Yeah, but I was around. I was a druggie, and I was around other druggies. I was a hoe, and I was around other hoes because, like we said earlier, birds of a feather flock together. And even
Yeah.
if I swear, it felt like I wasn't trying to hoe at a point in time. I'm not gonna say they forced me to do it or held a gun to my head, but certainly I was like, well, if they can get away with it, so can I. So, and then I was doing it, like. But yeah, I had not good people. I did not have. I only had one good person around me. One. He's a good guy. I did him horrible. Yeah,
Oh, you did him horrible. Why?
I did him awful. Huh?
What was your motivation for doing that?
I was a piece of shit. That's just it. I was.
Okay, so that was
I was a
that was
bad
just that
person.
was just
Yeah,
that's just what you would do by default. You just felt like that was the way.
exactly.
Like, okay,
Yeah.
would you consider yourself at least then? Would you say you were a bit narcissistic, like whatever anybody else had going on didn't matter?
Yeah, and slightly I'm still that way. Like I care a little bit, like because I do not. I'm very honest because I don't really feel remorse for what I did. I do not like to see them get hurt. I don't enjoy. I hate violence. I don't like to see people hurting. But also, I'm like, well, I told you I was gonna do that, so why are you crying? Like, that's my kind of thing. And I'm like, well, hey, yeah, I did it to you, but I mean, now it's now, so you can either get over it or you're gonna not. But I'm not gonna sit here and say I'm sorry because honestly, I'm really not. There are certain things that I might be sorry for, but honestly, I did it, and I take real full responsibility for everything I did. That was fucked up, but yeah, I'm a narcissist. definitely. Or I definitely was.
You
Maybe
know,
not as much
it's
anymore.
crazy because you just showed how accountably unaccountable you are. If that makes any sense, because
Kinda.
you're giving yourself credit for everything that you did, while simultaneously saying no, I'm not going to say sorry for any of it. So, yeah,
Exactly.
that.
Exactly. Like I'll say
Oh
sorry if you
man,
want
so
to, but just know that I don't mean it. Like
gotcha, I gotcha, and I try not to regret decisions either. So I found myself feeling like that too a lot, and not because I knowingly did it. No, I did something wrong, but I mean, I make mistakes. Absolutely, I'm not perfect
yeah.
by any measure, right? But when I deal with people, I give everybody a fair shake. I'm cool with everybody until we're not
Mm-hmm.
cool. I don't start with people. I'm not a backstabber. I don't talk behind people's back. I
Mm-hmm.
offer enrichment as much as I possibly can. I don't ask anyone to do anything for me that I wouldn't do for them, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I think I'm very fair about it. I've been really working on how I deal with people for a very long time. So, um, in the past, surely, like when I was way younger, I definitely did things that I wouldn't do now, right?
Yeah.
But as it
Yeah.
is right now, like I'm like, man, look, I know I go into a situation with it's never ill will. I always intend to do right by people because I respect people's feelings. You know what I mean? I respect people's time. You know what I mean? That's
Yes.
important. That's something that I really understand that people just don't do anymore, right? If you
Mm-hmm.
make a commitment, you got to do it. I don't ask for much, but do what it is that
What you
you
say?
say you were going to do.
Yes.
That's extremely important. That flake stuff, that's the quickest way to make an enemy out of me. When you think
Mm-hmm.
that it's just okay just to not do it, or not hit me up and let me know it's not going down, or
Mm-hmm.
hit me up at the last minute when you know I made a lot of preparation and everything else. I'm like, bro, what are you
Mm-hmm.
doing? Like, come on, man.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely.
So, all right, we I want to rewind just a little bit. So, I know you talked about your pop not being cool and not doing the right thing a lot, right? But
Mm-hmm.
how would you say your relationship is or was with your mom?
Uh, Yuck. She's just as hard. She's probably harder than me, honestly. My mom did not grow up gentle. Her mother beat her. Her mother pushed her into rose bushes, thorn bushes.
What?
Her mother locked her in a house with her rapist. Her mother
No,
did
no, no,
her
no. Wait.
best.
What?
It is a when they say generational curses are real, they are. Like it was a generational her mom and her mom, but my mom really did try to break that. Unfortunately, she and what happened with a lot of abuse victims happened to me. You end up with your abuser. So she ended up with a man who was like her mom. And he was now the thing about my mom, and I always say, ladies, you don't fight men, but my mother was one of two women that would actually fight back and somehow held her own. She would really do it. And remember, we were militaries and we grew up in Hawaii. So
Oh, you
how
grew up in
she would
Hawaii.
take
Okay.
yeah, like my whole childhood was there. So she was like, what was she gonna do? Take us from Hawaii and bring us to Ohio to live in a one bedroom um, household with our grandparents. There was four children, so she fought as much as she could. I do know that like because I'm the eldest, so because my siblings were younger, it was really like me and my brother could take the abuse because he wouldn't kill us, but he would have killed my siblings. So I just took the brunt. Well, my brother took the brunt of it, but I took the brunt of the girl abuse, and she took the most. Now, there was a point when she moved to Maryland. We moved to Maryland, and then we were cool. Everything was fine, and I think it was about maybe I was 20. No, I had to be a little older. 25. My mom, something happened, and I'm not gonna say she's a racist. I am gonna say she can be very racial. My mom is a black woman. I I I just and then we started to really butt heads on stuff like that because I was like, look, I
So,
don't know. Hmm?
I just want to ask you really quick there. What is your entire nationality? What is your mix?
So when I talk about my dad, I'm actually talking about my stepdad because my real dad was not there. My biological father is a German man, and my mom is black. Yeah,
Got
he's
it.
a white man, white German man. But yeah, but
Gotcha.
I don't know him. You know, we don't talk. Um, so my stepdad is my dad. As much as he sucked, at least he was there. Um,
Gotcha.
yeah, but yeah, we started to. She it was like she decided she did. Well, she said herself she didn't want to be a mom anymore, and it's because we weren't. She tried to raise us as best as she could, but because of all the abuse, it just didn't work. So she was taking care of four grown adult kids, which at 50, you know, and that's what people don't think about when they have kids. Like, of course, if you have kids, it could be perfect, great. But what if your kid is 25 years old and like, I don't want to leave. I'm staying up under you. My mom's 50 now. She's got a 25-year-old living with her, my 25-year-old sister and my 19-year-old sister, because she feels bad for letting them like go, but also she's like, bruh, they weren't even working at one point. Like she was just taking care of them. And then because of me, we always kind of butted heads because I've always been mouthy. So uh, we got to a point where I tried to put my hands on her, and she whooped my ass. But
Wait.
I tried, and then we were not talking for a good year and a half, and then we started to kind of like come together a little bit more, mostly because I got my head out of my ass and I realized that I was the problem. I was insecure. Um, and then she was kind of, you know, going back to like normal. I think it was like menopause. I really do, because now I just saw her on Christmas and she's like she used to be when she was a mom, and it's like, oh, okay. She always has kind of said some fucked up things, but you know, she's way more like calmer than she was during that time.
No, I got you.
Yeah.
And we all grow, we mature, we get
Right.
better. You know what I mean?
Right.
And we get
Yeah.
better as time.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say this. I do feel like there's something telling me that you're from where you came from. That's some seriously humble beginnings, like especially emotionally and everything else. Right now, I see something different. Um, you realize the wrong and a lot of the things that you've done and your experiences you had. As I'm, I understand it too because of what you did, what happens to you earlier in your
Mm-hmm.
life, your childhood, and your early adulthood. So I can understand where you're coming from and why you may have reacted in the manner that you did. But the
Yeah.
biggest thing that I think about is the first step to solving a problem is realizing what the problem is. And
Mm-hmm.
you're very well aware of, the things you did, and you're on your way. And you're already making um, positive moves. You're already helping people. You've been advising people on your channel, right? And your Instagram, and it's starting to resonate with people. And when I saw it, I saw a genuine person who is very honest, upfront, forthcoming, and is using her experiences to help others to not have those same experiences. And that's a selfless act. So even if you still consider yourself a narcissist, that's certainly not a part of narcissism right
Yeah.
there, because you are sharing your experiences candidly, right? Just
Mm-hmm.
about as anybody who I've ever talked to on here. And I feel like it's really going to be able to help people, particularly young women. I feel like you have the voice that could resonate with the younger women who need it the most, right? Um, so that's good. Now, with that, I definitely want you to give everything that you can about your information, where they can find you, anything that you're working on. Take as long as you need, but let us know where we can find Diamond, the OG Ho at, and how can we patronize you, right? Let us know.
Right. So my Instagram, obviously that's where you found me. Diamond N Zeruff. Diamond like diamond in the rough, but you know. And then I have a TikTok, same name. I have a YouTube, but I don't really use it. Same name, and I have a Twitch, same name. So I have on my Instagram. There's a link in my bio to all of them. And then also, if you do want to patronize me, and you already know I have it right here because that's who I am.
There
I
you
wrote
go.
some advice books. So it is an ebook. I made the ebook very cheap. It's $1.99, but these are a little bit more expensive. And it's advice from an OG ho, 99 life and love tips you need to survive. It's on Amazon. It's through Amazon. So if you guys want to get it, And I do plan on making a second book, but because I couldn't fit
A
everything in
what?
here.
A what?
Yeah, a
A
second
what?
book. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. But, oh, a second. Okay.
Yeah, a
I
second.
misheard
Sorry.
you. Oh my god. I misheard you. I so misheard you. I'm not even gonna say what I thought you said,
Okay.
but that's what I had to. I had to. I
We
thought you was
know
about to be on
now.
some Corinne Steffens situation right now. I'm like, wait, a what? Oh, good though. Yeah, nah. We got you. We got you. But yeah, so now you're an author too. I hope your book really does well. Anybody watching, please do patronize by the book. Just from what I've heard today, I'm sure she has some excellent tips and it would offer enrichment to your life in some way or another. All of your links will be in the description.
Thank
And
you.
it's been a blast. Pause. And I appreciate you for coming through.
Of
Pause.
course. Thank you for having
But
me.
yeah, I definitely appreciate your candidness, and it was definitely a fun time here today. I was expecting you to really be forthcoming, but yeah, you even exceeded my expectations, and
Okay.
I'm sure this is really going to help a lot of people because it's just too real. It's too raw not to listen to it right off the bat. You came guns a blazing, so I definitely appreciate that. So
Of
just
course.
sit tight for a second. I'm gonna do what it'll do on this side. I'll close them out for them. Hold up for a second, Diamond. Okay, and again, definitely patronize Diamond, right? I'm gonna have all the information in the description below, and I appreciate you for stopping through, spending some time with us, listening to us. If you made it this far, for sure. But if you haven't, please do subscribe, like the video, and share it to everyone who you think it might help. And as always, stay hungry, my friends. Never thirsty. You know that ain't my style. That ain't how I get down. That ain't how I get down. That ain't how